Hello and welcome to the stands of Ibrox. A little bit of a delay. I do apologise to everybody. I've been off. I had a little bit of the man flu and it knocked me for six, and I felt probably 10 times worse than I looked. I know that it's a much improvement, but it's good to be back. Nice to see the early people here. Bluebells is here, Sharpie, Staunch is here, Aldo is here as always in prime time. Thanks very much for turning up, guys. Can you let me know make sure my volume's okay and my sound's okay? Because these earphones are a pain in the backside sometimes. So if you just let me know in the comments that everything's okay, then we can get on with the show, hopefully. I was hoping to get a wee guest on tonight, but unfortunately, a little bit late. So we need to see if he turns up. If not, you're stuck with me. Sorry, guys. Sharpie just let me know that it's okay. Thanks, buddy. That's great. Uh, since we last spoke, it was just as we brought in Silva. Uh, Other than that, absolutely zero has happened. I probably picked a good week to be no well because I think we were all hoping that we'd be quite busy during this winter break for transfers. And as far all the names that have been mentioned on social media and mainstream media has came to absolute zero. So obviously there's practically no point actually talking about any of these guys. But we just got on, mate, and we'll see where we go. Hi there, Brian. How you doing? I'm good, mate. Thank you for letting me know. Right, as I said, for the last time we spoke, we've had two friendlies. We had one in Spain at the training camp uh, against Hertha. Now, I think we can all agree that the football was as bad as the pitch, which was as bad as the referee, which was as bad as commentating for Rangers TV. It was an absolute disaster from start to finish. I don't think any players showed anything. Maybe wee Ross had a pretty decent in spurts in the game. I thought he did okay, but the rest of the players, I think what Clement said, he played them when the tank was empty. Basically, well, they were an over 70 side could have probably outran them in the game. It was pretty dire. I think you all agree with me. Maybe I'm wrong. If I am, just let me know in the comments. Just you tell me I'm talking a lot of rubbish. Next game was against Copenhagen, Ibrox last night. It was 2-2. It was a vast improvement for the previous game. But we're going to talk about the same problem that we've had for 3 to 4 seasons. Set pieces, we can't defend them, and we can't get anything from them, especially corner kicks. These outswingers have never worked for us. I think the last time we used them was just before the tail end of Gerrard. It's not working, is it? It's just we've no got the guys there. I don't know whether it's who our coach is for doing set pieces, but obviously they're no setting up right. Are the players not taking instructions of what they're supposed to do? It can't be that because there'll be something said by now. So I'm not really too sure what's happening. Brian was saying to me, bit of walking football. It was basically, mate. I'm just glad Timmy Roof wasn't playing because he would have probably put his back out if he was doing walking football. I want to go back now that I've just went over the first couple of games. I want to go back to the first game. We learned that Dale is injured again. He got injured. He stubbed his toe or whatever. He got a grass stain on that pitch. The guy's just coming back for injury. I don't even think he should have been playing. We should have had somebody else on. It's getting to this stage where, well, it always has been a worry for us about the amount of injuries that we're getting, but it's gone. It's a bit beyond pale now, and I think even Clement started to question. I think he said it when he first came in. He was talking about it, but it's getting. Are these players are they made with plasticine? Something's not going right there. I don't know what it is, but can you guys think why we're doing it? Is it the training regime we have? Is that what's causing the problem? It's just it's not good enough, and we need to sort it out. The guy that came in, Silva, right? I want to go straight to him because we've got he's the only incoming we've had so far. Now, he says himself he's not an out and out number 9. I think he's probably right because for what I've seen, I don't think he is. I'm thinking maybe with his pace, he's got a good touch of the ball. He's got a good range of passing for what we've seen so far. He's got decent pace. Would you think number 10? Or maybe is he the right winger that we've been looking for? That we've needed? For me, I think he might be able to play that position. There's a Paul McGarry. Hi there, Paul. Another regular. Thank you very much for turning up, mate. Nice seeing you all. I'm really worried just now with the lack of everything that's been happening, or the lack of what's no happening with regarding outgoings and ingoings. Now, the one outgoing that we think is maybe actually happening is Yilmaz getting moved on. What's been heard is Galatasaray has agreed terms with him. Now, we've heard all the Turkish pish before. Every time there's a transfer window, it's Rangers player linked with Turkish team. And it doesn't matter what one it is, but they never ever come to fruition. So I'm going to take it with a pinch of salt because for me, I think it would be absolute suicide getting rid of Yilmaz. Yilmaz the overall thing that we need at the left back position. Maybe no. He showed the last few games. I think he showed a lot of potential. Everybody's saying about his height, but the majority of really decent left backs are usually small, nimble, fast players. So I don't take the height thing. Is it on the defensive side? Do teams target him? Aye. Does he lose the ball in the air? Aye, he does. But if you'll notice, he's quite quick in getting back again. He recovers from it. So I think he does quite well in that position, and he's a whole hell of a lot better than Bora Barisic. Bora Barisic has been up. But some people are saying that he's been decent this season. I suppose he's had some half decent games, but he's been maybe a 5 or a 6. I think the one game he had a 7 out of 10. I don't. Last 6 months of his contract, he needs to be gone. We need better. He can't stay at Rangers any longer. There was since I last spoke to you, I think there was a point where Yilmaz was leaving and Bora Barisic was getting an extension to his contract. I was going off my head and I'm like, what's going on here? This is not happening. Somebody's having an April Fool's early here. But what do you think with Yilmaz? Uh, am I right in being really, really worried about this left back position? I know we need strengthened elsewhere. We'll talk about that later on. But he seems the only answer for us right now, the way things are going for that position. And to sell him, I think's just nuts. I think it's a terrible decision. It's just, if you look at our back four, we're basically playing with the same players we had 3 seasons ago. Maybe as long back as nearly 4 seasons ago. That's just, it's no helping us. Now, our defensive record has been quite good. And the SPFL, I think they're good enough. But for European football, they're not quick enough and they're not savvy enough. And I think that maybe whoever we get in the next round, it could be curtains for us in the next stage. And obviously, I do want to continue and try and get as much money as we can because we're going to need it. Because the more and more this goes on, that we don't sign anybody, the more and more I'm thinking that the league is done and dusted. Because unless we can bring in an out and out striker, I don't think that we'll get anywhere near that mob. And I hate bloody saying it. I really hate saying it. but we need to be realistic. Obviously, this will always rule, and I think we'll get something done. But if we can't, if Clement can't bring in a striker of some sort, a proven goal scorer, it could be curtains for us but within maybe mid-February, end of February, the league could be gone. So we need to get this sorted out. The Bluebells are saying European and against them, Curry. Aye, that's it, mate. We need somebody in better. At least that's what I'm thinking. Callum is saying we may regret no getting Shankland. Right. I've went for pillar to post in this one, Callum, and I think you all know what I've said about Shankland. Is he a good player? Aye. We should have got him a lot sooner. Should we get him now? I mean, maybe aye, maybe no. Sitting on the fence, usual scalps in the arse and all that. Right now, if we can't get in a player of at least his standard who can score goals, we're in trouble. So what I'm going to do is I'm glad to see that I've got a handsome man sitting next to me. So I'm going to just bring him in. So here we go. The one and only, the handsome Scotty. How you doing, mate?
Not bad, pal. Happy New Year to you, Curry. It's been a long time, mate.
Happy New Year, mate. May I say, you're looking absolutely fantastic, mate.
Oh, there's been a lot of changes for the New Year, put it that way, mate. A lot
Aye,
of changes. Aye. I've
aye,
got a gym pass for a start.
aye. I take it you've not been to the roof clinic?
No.
No?
No.
Right. What I was saying, I was just basically filling in time and talking a lot of shite. Really.
Right on.
Basically, try to go over the last couple of weeks, mate. What's happened? I'll cut off where I was at, guys. And we'll get back up there and we'll catch up again. But I'm just going to let Scotty know his thoughts in the last couple of weeks. Right, the game against Hertha, right, mate. Right. Since we last spoke, we've not spoke to each other as we said this year so far. Right, but my thoughts was the squad was as bad as the football park, which was as bad as the refereeing, which was as bad as the commentating on RTV. That in a nutshell, it was every single bit of was shite. The only person I seen showing a wee bit of something was maybe wee Ross McCausland. What about yourself?
Well, see, to put a bit of a positive spin on it, we were shite on. We were crap against Hertha, right? The game was, I cut the game off at half time and then I watched it back later because I was just like, but I would rather get that performance out the road now instead of waiting to Hibs away to produce something like that. We're notorious for coming back after the winter break, and it's proven in the past however many years, apart from the year we won the league because there wasn't a winter break, Curry, that we've come back and we've dropped points and we've played awful and our season's crumbled. So I would rather get these performances out the way now while Big Phil's getting these friendlies in. What I will say is I don't think the friendly should have been played against Hertha Berlin because that park was atrocious. But no, I'm not digging up the manager about this. Well, I'm going to dig him up a wee bit because why he knows how thin our squad is with injuries. He knows our players are made of plastic. So why was the manager why did they let the game go ahead?
I'm in agreement, mate. Especially Dell. And see, when I heard Dell was injured, he might be out for, and he was saying after the last night, he could be out for up to 2 months. That's nuts. That I'm going to talk to him about him later on because obviously we'll be talking about transfers, right? So we'll quickly go off the debacle that over in Spain. Last night we played with 2 each. Without going into the specifics of the game, I thought it was a half decent result. I thought we played all right, and for the majority of the game, the 2 usual goals we had against us were shocking and something that's happened over the last 3 or 4 seasons. It's just something we need to discuss later on. Before you came on, I spoke about Yilmaz. Is this Yilmaz situation the we're hearing more and more reports, and it seems to be a bit more solid than usual. I take everything the coming out of Turkey with a pinch of salt, but there's a lot of people talking about it now that Yilmaz is going to agree terms with Galatasaray. Now, am I the only man that think this is absolutely fucking nuts, mate? Thinking that we're getting rid of a guy that's just starting to come into form, and we're going to be left with Borna Barisic.
I know, but right, so Yilmaz is the sellable asset for this month, right? If there's going to be a way that if there's ever a time he's going to get sold, we need to sell to get money to buy players, right? So what do you want? Do you want now? Amy Dujon Sterling can fill in at left back. You could get away with him and Barisic to end of the season, right? That's just my personal opinion. I'll probably get pelters for it in the comments. See if selling Yilmaz gets us in a striker to win as a league. We need goals, Corey, right? Our goal conversion's absolutely shocking. I've just written an article on it for Big Scott McPike, and that's due on Thursday or Friday, I think, on the need for reinforcements. And we can't rely on Cyril Dessers for the end of the season. A guy's dividing opinion now, right? I'm certainly not sitting in the same boat that I was in a couple of months ago, where I was sitting here and I was like, he's hopeless, he's lost his way, he's not even trying. I mean, the big man didn't even have a work rate that we could give him. No,
I agree with you there, mate. I agree with you at that, because see if you had said to me maybe two and a half, maybe 3 months ago, I might be turning and say I sell him, because I don't think we were getting enough out of him. But over the last month now, I've changed my mind a wee bit with him, because I've seen something that I'd never seen before, and he certainly offers something that Borna Barisic doesn't get. That's, for instance, that second goal. There's no chance that Borna Barisic would go in for a tackle like that.
No. I mean, see, people looking at left backs. What's wrong with bringing Robbie Fraser in for the end of the season and making him third choice? Adam Devine's got experience at left back. He played there just before Bill came in. In fact, I think he played against Hibs. That was Bill's first match. So how can we? I think if there's a position we can sell in, it's left back, because I think there's enough to get us over the line. We can get somebody in on loan, get the £3-4 million in, and get a striker in. I don't care who it is, but I want a proven goal scorer in this league. I would go and buy Cholak back, 100%. See if we Cholak, we wouldn't need a striker.
Aye, right. Can I just counter what you said there, mate? That's all right. What you're saying that we maybe can play a Divine in that position. We're not going to win the league with Divine in that position. Well, at least for me, I don't think we'd win the league. I don't think we'd be good enough. And maybe Sterling. Sterling's really proved himself in the midfield now. If we move him out of the left, he's putting into a position. Do I think he maybe cope? Aye. Do you think we'll take the league with him being there? No, because I don't think we're strong enough in the midfield either. It's probably the least of our problems just now, especially because Lawrence is back and Jack is back. I think that's maybe alleviated our midfield problem a wee bit, and Sifu as well was and get minutes the other night there. But I think that's the least of our problems. But what you said there, we're talking about what we really need, what we need money for. Now, remember we spoke about this guy comes up near enough every single pod we do, Shankland, right? Now, you know yourself, I'm been on and off with him, no knowing what to do, right? I've now came to the conclusion, now, if we can't get somebody as good as him before the end of this window, we should be trying to get him no matter what, even if it is 5 million, because without him or a striker of that quality, we are not going to win this league. There's no chance we're going to win the league. Dessers has been doing all right, but he's too inconsistent. He scored a great goal last night, and he had a golden opportunity, and he did his usual and he fluffed it really badly. Same with Matondo and all. Matondo, I thought he did great, composure, slotted in a perfect goal, but a couple of minutes before that, he had a cracking opportunity, and he skied it. I just don't think these guys are consistent enough to be relied on. We need somebody that can put the ball in the back of the net. Now, 5 million is a lot of money, especially for a player of Shankland's quality, I think, for to come from Hearts to Rangers. But if we get this Champions League, because of the new format, that 5 million could win us or give us a better chance of earning between 50 and 60 million. Is it worth the risk, mate?
I totally think it's worth the risk. What I would say about Shankland is I've done a wee bit of, I've watched a couple of Hearts' matches during the winter break, like just for sort of beginning of, see at the beginning of the season, the guy wasn't doing it. See if he's not scoring goals, there's not really much Shankland brings to the team. He's out of box work is just a wee bit better than Chris Boyd's. He's no Dessers does more out with the box than what Shankland will. Shankland does more in the box than what Dessers will. Right, that's kind of my opinion on him. Do I want him? Yes, 100%. He wins us a league, but he spend £5 million on him it's a big outlay, especially for us, especially with the time of year it is. I believe it would be the difference, but if you look at him as an overall package, he's not really got a good first touch. He can hold the ball up, he can lay it off. He does the basics well, but in terms of what we need in terms of strikers running the channels, moving defenders, he doesn't really do any of that. He'll peel off to the back post. I think about 5 or 6 of his goals this season have came for corners and it's off the crosses and it's him peeling off at the back post. That seems to be his favourite kind of movement to score a goal. But to me, it's a case of who else is there. I had a bit of an argument with a couple of folk on Twitter about it the other day, and it was like, no, everybody's wanting us to go and find unearth all these gems before they go, because I think there's a boy that's left Staybeck in Norway today, right, who he went to Ghent for £3 million and he's now going to Lyon for 15 million. And everybody's saying,
I seen that about 15 minutes ago, mate. Aye.
Everybody's saying this is the gems we need to be unearthing. But we're Rangers, we can't afford to go and we need to spend at a certain level. Now, we've been trying to do that and it's not been working out. There's been different players we've been linked with for South Africa and Argentina. I think Longoni, this boy's called, scored like 4 goals. He's been injured for 3-4 months. Apparently, Bill wanted him back in the summer. We need a proven goal scorer, and we need somebody that's done it in British football before. There's a guy that left LA Galaxy and he signed for Hull City, Billy Sharp. He went to Hull City for free, right? Scores goals for fun in the Championship. He scored over 100 goals for different teams. He's early 30s. He would have filled a gap to the end of the season. 100%. And he'd have done the same job that Shankland would have done. It's somebody of that ilk I'm looking for. We can't afford to go out and bring in some wee guy nobody's heard of South Africa or Norway or anything like that, because it's too much of a risk just now. We've got a league title to go and win. That's what the summer transfer window's for, in my opinion. He may be the obvious candidate just now, Shankland, but
aye.
I would be wary about his box work.
Aye. It's, as I said, I think most of the people in the chat agree now, is that we need somebody, Shankland or somebody like him, that can put the goal at the ball in the back of the net. That's what we desperately need.
Curry, can I cut in a minute?
Yeah, of course, mate.
Is Cholak better than Shankland to you?
Aye. For me, aye. But I love Tony goals.
So did I.
I thought he was brilliant. I was.
You see somebody like that.
I was raging.
See somebody like that. That's perfect. That's spot on. That's somebody like that I'm looking for. £2 million, £2.5 million, blah blah blah. Like somebody like that ilk, instead of going out and spending £5 million on a guy that's limited in his ability. I'm not saying he's a bad player. I've wanted Shankland for months now.
Yeah, question for you, mate. For Aldo. Obviously, Scotty Curry. Are the club even looking at Shankland, or is it just sheer fan speculation and wanting it? I think I said the other week there, the last time I made the point, I think it is. It's fan speculation. I don't think the club are looking at him. As far as I know, he got the highest deal offer for Hearts for the highest paid at the club. There's speculations on how much it is. I don't know how people know that, because I don't think they make that.
I think Shankland's on a list. I don't know how high up on the list he is. And that's just by watching kind of different pods and stuff. I've not got any connections with the club. I'm not in the know in the slightest.
Is it because we're getting kept in the dark so much, mate? Especially when when Bill was here, we knew a player was coming in 4 months before he was even here or signed. But since Timmy Clement came in, him and the board and everything coming into Ibrox, even the fan, the actual club fan, the official fan pods and things like that, haven't been able to tell us very much information on players that we're even looking at or possibly looking at. Is that what maybe we're getting frustrated at as well?
Aye. I think there's. I mean, I was sitting thinking last night. I'm starting to get mightily annoyed at Rangers because we've fought ourselves back into a title race. If we're essentially 2 points behind if we win these 2 games in hand that's coming up, and we've not signed anybody. We need a striker and we've not signed one. It's wild. It's absolutely wild. But then Clement's presser last night when he's saying, I believe him, when he's saying the club are working hard day and night, he's in regular contact. There is some things in the workings, they're trying. That's enough for me to go, all right, like kind of breathe a wee sigh of relief. I think Rangers are trying to be smart about it. But I'm all for where these links are coming from, but I don't think it's the right time to be doing it. I think we just need to go and get somebody in that we know's got a proven ability and has played at a high level instead of trying to unearth a gem like we were talking about a couple of minutes ago. That boy signed for Leon for 15 million. I think that's too much a risk. This is when I would be hoping that Clement's get somebody in the background that he knows has done it for him in the past, like an Emmanuel Dennis.
See, that's what I'm hoping, mate. I'm hoping that he's got a wee list that he's came with, potential players that we could come in that obviously would put to the board and hopefully find out if we can afford to bring these guys in. Interesting one for Stuart, mate. Don't think Shankland would handle the pressure of coming in and trying to win us the league. Let's be honest, never had that pressure before. What's your thoughts on that, mate?
Wouldn't be relying solely on him. What real days will create chances, and our strikers haven't been able to score him this season. So if you look at his sitters Danilo's missed, right? We could count them up and we could it'd be ridiculous. Get into double figures. The amount of chances Danilo missed when he was playing. Dessers as well coming into that. Shankland's going to put a ball in the back in it. Shankland's going to score goals. I see Bluebells with a comment there asking if I've read about Emmanuel Dennis. I actually wrote a bit about him in my article for Scott McPike. I watched some of his highlights when he was playing for Watford. The boy looks good. Score with his left, can score with his right, scores with his head. He can press, he's pacey, he's got upper body strength, he's more or less got everything. But why his career's kind of curtailed is I can't really find. I've read different things that there's a bit of an attitude problem there, but I mean, Big Phil's get a tune out of Dessers. So Big Phil's man management's his strongest point. He's close to his players. So I believe he could potentially get a tune at him because some of the goals he was scoring at Watford were crazy. Look him up, honestly. He looks a really good player. I wouldn't give a back him coming in.
On Bluebells, Bluebells, mate, I take it you're talking about Shankland mentally wise. I think he would be fine. I think he would. For all accounts, for everything we've heard, he's Rangers through and through. He always has been growing up, and even when his time at Hearts and all that, he's always been a proper Rangers fan. So I think he would be giving it. Oh, Dennis, sorry, buddy. I'll just forget that. He's talking about Dennis. Now I don't know that much about Dennis, mate. So I can't. I don't feel him qualified to turn around and say
He's got shades of Morelos in him in terms of he can be a wee bit huffy. Likes a red card.
Christ, that's all we need.
likes a red card. I mean, he's played 8 games for Istanbul Başakşehir this season, and he's had 4 yellow cards and no goals. But
no, we don't. I don't want that.
see, at the same time, Corey, see if Clement can fully sit there and say, I can get a tune out of this boy to board, and he comes in, he bags the goals that win his league. I'm not going to complain because we know that he's got a track record when he played at Bruges. He got his big money move to Watford. In terms of Shankland, Shankland would score his goals. What else has Shankland got today to get a move to? But he scored goals against everybody in that league. It's ridiculous.
Well, the way I see it, right, mate, is that if Shankland doesn't come, and if he wants to be a Rangers player, this would be the time to do it, because he'll never get the chance again, I don't think. So if Rangers have offered him a contract, even if it's not as much as what he's getting, it would depend on whether he values money than playing for his boyhood club. Obviously, it's easy for us to turn around and say, I would play for the club, but we're no we're no actual professional footballers. It's easier for us to say, because Rangers we bleed Rangers, so it's quite easy for that. But I think that if we, or sorry, if I don't think he will ever get this chance again to come to Rangers, even in the summer. By the time the summer comes around, I think it'll be too late for him. So if we either now or never, would you think?
I don't know. I think he's just going to keep scoring goals. See if he signs, if he doesn't sign, he's just going to keep banging them in for Hearts. I think he's going to go from strength to strength this season. I think he's going to go to Euros in the summer, be in that Scotland squad, and I think he's going to make an impact when he comes on. I do fully believe in it, boy. But in terms of how come, it's interesting because there's two sides to it. There's a side that we know he can come in and score goals for us, but there's a side though. Is he got everything a Rangers number 9 needs? Is he going to run the channels? Is he going to hold the ball up? Is he going to press? I mean, does he look like a pressing machine to you? Doesn't it to me?
Nah, not really. Doesn't.
So is he Clement's type of striker?
He's more a playmaker than he gets in positions, mate. I would say. I think what Paul said is totally correct. If he's interested, he could force the move. I think that's the only way that we'll get him. But
it depends what comes out of these contract talks with Hearts. See if he doesn't sign this contract with Hearts, are going to open up a bidding war for him. That's when you're going to see if he rejects this contract for Hearts.
Aye, I don't know how long that'll be. As far as I'm aware, we would need to find out before Saturday, because if he plays in the cup, that'll rule him out apparently for playing in any of the games. So I think if anything, you need to come in before then. Aye. I've seen that on Twitter or something. I don't know what the rules are, mate, but obviously that's what normally happens.
If he can't play for us in the Scottish Cup, it's the League one. I'm not interested in it. Of course, I'm interested in the Scottish Cup, but it's the League one.
But what Aldo said, every sign is a gamble, and certainly isn't a guarantee, and it is. We've had some really big names come to the club, come up to Scotland, and they've been absolute shite. There's been quite a few, and they've been actually big names, and they've had they've got big numbers, money numbers on them, and they've proved that they can't do it. And that's in both sides of the city. There've been players came in that thought they were something else, and they've just not been able to cope. Why to go off of this now, mate? Because obviously this is something that will be going and ongoing until we eventually actually sign somebody. Yeah, of course, mate. Go on.
Right, so Rangers have come out, they've rubbished reports about Michy Batshuayi, they've rubbished reports about the boy Matthews for South Africa, they've rubbished reports about, see anybody we've got kind of half excited about, they've rubbished it. They've not rubbished Milan Manhoff for Vitesse, they've not rubbished Scott McKenna for Nottingham Forest, they've not rubbished Emmanuel Dennis, and they've not rubbished Lawrence Shankland. So that signifies to me that there's something in it. Just going back to the commenter who said, like, are Rangers even interested in it? Well, there's got to be some level of interest there, because Rangers would have come out and shot it down in flames by now.
There was on the Dennis one, mate. I discussed this with Kerr a couple of pods ago about Dennis. I think it was him. No, it wasn't Kerr. It was Owen. I was on his pod. Done pod with him, and we spoke about Dennis. I wasn't too impressed with what I looked up on him. I think he could potentially be a good thing coming, but I wasn't overly impressed. I don't know. What you said, was it he on your piece that you done?
Aye. I like your look at him. See, when I went and I kind of I scratched at the surface a wee bit. There's definitely a player like I says he can score with his left, score with his right, score with his head. He's got a good bit of body strength. He's got a bit of pace. He can get in behind defenders. He can hold the ball up. He can link up play. He can run the channels. I'm definitely a bit of an advocate. The only thing that would worry me about it is some folk have written out about his attitude towards certain things, but then if Clement's worked with him in the past, Clement will know how to get the best out of him, because it was Clement that got him his big move to Watford. I think it was £20 million or something, 18 million. And that they went 15 million. He went to Watford for, and then Forest bought him for 18 when they get relegated. There's definitely a player in it, 100%.
For me, I think what's going to happen, mate. I've got a feeling that all these names that supposedly, as you said, that the board and the head of football and Clement, they're all working hard to bring players in. More and more, I'm thinking it's going to be loans that are going to come in.
I think that depends on selling Yilmaz.
Do you reckon?
I
don't want us to sell him, mate. I really don't want us to sell him.
Personally, I think we need to sell before we can buy, and there's definite interest in Yilmaz. And I think if we want to strengthen one position, we need to be weaker than another and fill that left back position with a loan. I think potentially with Yilmaz, I think in an ideal world, you keep him, you grow his value between now to summer, and then you sell him for potentially double what's getting quoted now. 3.5, 4 million's getting quoted now. We're getting my money back. You could potentially get 7 or 8 in the summer for him if he gets a run of games, and if he keeps playing the way he is. He's playing really good just now. But to me, it's all depends on whether you want a striker in. If it's Shankland or Yilmaz, to me, that's kind of what it's coming down to.
Would you agree with what Stuart's saying, that there is more he's not an out and out number 9 striker? He
plays anywhere across the front three, but mostly for Watford, I think he played out on the left and he cut in. But at Bruges, he played centre forward.
See that for me, what Sharpie's saying, mate, is 3.4 million we get for Yilmaz. I think that would be an absolute steal. I'd be shocked, especially because it's a winter transfer. I would have expected the money to be a bit inflated if we're getting rid of somebody in the winter, especially when they're starting to come onto their game. Do you agree with me, or would you just, as long as we get that 3.4 million and try and get?
I think it would be Rangers have already knocked back 3.4 for Galatasaray, so there's no value no matter.
What he's saying there, we didn't pay 5 million. That's right, mate. What happened is I think it was 3.5, 3.5 plus the add-ons. That's right. Bluebell says no happy for he says if and daft is I should punt him now. I need to agree with that. Now, you say that we need to obviously get money in, right? And we need to punt players, right? I think we should be punting players to get drop the wages more than anything else, mate. Say Borna Barisic, I'd be getting rid of him. Ryan Jack, we need to look to get rid of him. He maybe just be coming back, but he doesn't play enough, I don't think. No, Dow is injured again. I don't think he's not playing enough games. Roof, obviously, as well, has been a constant one for the moment we actually signed him, except for one reason. Am I going off the track here? What I want now, right, and we're talking about bringing in Shankland, it's going to be 5 million. If we get the league, it's going to be between 50 and 60 million. Plus, we get on that because of the new format, right? Is it time for the board to put their hand in their pocket again and say, right, if we're wanting to make an investment, there's an extra X amount, however much it's going to take. I'm not talking about stupid money. I'm not talking about mental, just throwing money at the wall and hope like shit and hoping that somebody sticks. But does the board need to start saying, listen, if we want to get into this Champions League, we need to win this league. And if we don't win this league, we are going to lose a mass amount of money. Or, i.e., we do get through, we get into these stages, and basically they get their investment back and they get their money back right away. Plus, the club's got 30, 40 million to put to the side towards whatever they're going to do, whether it's another project that they're going to do or buy players and invest in the actual team.
I don't think, I'm just going to be brutal, I don't think we've got it to spend it.
No,
if
but
you're
this is
looking, if you're looking for a chairman and that, get in his pocket again. I don't think
I thought we paid out. I thought they paid all the loans back.
I think we have.
And that's why we are so bloody skint. Is because all the loans that we did get were paid back.
I think they are paid back, and I think we've turned a profit. But the club isn't sustainable as it is just now, which is why we're doing extra deals with Sky Sports and different things like that. I'm not saying we're skint FC, we're far fit. But what I'm saying is Michael Beale's blew all our money in the summer on a rubbish.
Aye, that's true.
Asking the board to go again when they've already spent the best part of, let's just say 15 million when you look at Elisa Butland's wages and signing on fees and all the free transfers.
That's all come out of the club, mate. That's not come out of their pockets.
Aye, probably.
That's come out of the club. So this is what I'm saying. Is it time for? So that's like 2 years now that the loans have apparently been all paid back, or we've got to be cleared off to an extent. Is it no time that they turn around and said, right, if we want to be serious about getting Rangers into this Champions League, we need to risk paying X amount? It's not as if I know it's a business, but the Rangers supporters. I know for a fact, if I had that money, I'd be throwing money like an idiot at Rangers to get them into the Champions League and the chance. Now, see this. Go off that now, mate. Because I've went on my wee rant about it. For me, I think the board should be digging their hands in their pockets now. But Sharpie saying, what's the Sky Sports deal all about? Now, all I know is what I've seen on Twitter, and it's apparently us and the other mob have made an agreement with Sky to show the games that are live or are scheduled are now going to be shown on Sky on a pay-per-view basis, as far as I'm aware. Now, do you know anything more than me, mate? I'm hoping so. No, this is when you're supposed to come out and say, right, Curry, this is it's got to happen.
All I know is that we've sold our tele rights for an extra couple of matches, and it will bring an extra income into the club. Now, I'm all for it. If any way we can bring money into Rangers to improve the quality of what's on the park. See, instead of, this is where the board's kind of annoyed me a wee bit now. They're going on about the built Edmondson house. They're building this, they're building that. They've got Gordon Ramsay in making menus and all this jargon. As a support, we've suffered watching that team on the pitch since 55. The team's been at a rank rotten. We've won 2 trophies in 3 or 4 years, which isn't good enough. We should have been putting more money into something else. With players like Morelos and Kent who left for absolutely nothing. That's poor business. Very poor business. With a 15 million bid on Kent back in the day, but we were that hell bent on stopping 10 in a row that we never took it. No, 15 million on Morelos, sorry. That hell bent stopping 10 in a row, we never took it, and I'm glad that we never took it. But at the same time, it's half a reason that we're in a position we're in now, in terms of we're sitting here in the January transfer window. I've always said, whoever has a better transfer window at Rangers and Celtic this month is going to win the league. And so far, Celtic's the only ones that signed anybody.
I think everybody's been saying that. I know for my chat and for chats for other pods and all the guys on the Twitter, all the different guys that does the pods and the Rangers fans, media have all been saying the exact same thing before the transfer. We need to get this right, and it's up to what's happening with us and who we bring in, who's going to win this league this season. And as you said, they brought in that, is it Canton or something like that? I can't remember. They've only, as far as I know, they've only brought in one guy. Just want to go back to what Dave's saying here. Thanks for joining us, Dave. Says we've skinted up too much of the outgoings on squads that sit in the med bay 9 months out of 12. That's where all the money from our club's gone. You're totally right, Dave. I think I've went over it umpteen times. I think we've said in the past, Scott, about the carry on amount of money we're wasting on players that are sat on the bench for the majority of the actual time they've been at this club. It's time that needs to end. And I said on Twitter, it's time we went full French Revolution on this lot and just guillotined a lot of them and get them out the club, because we can't do this anymore. It's the amount of money that we're hemorrhaging. If I said that, did I even say that word right? Aye, that word, aye. New teeth. We're needing to get it sorted out, and it needs to be sorted out quick by the club. It's just, I think we just need to be absolutely brutal, mate, and just say, listen, it's time for you to go. No more. We're still sitting in a position that we could have been doing this pod 4 years ago, mate, and speaking about the same 4 or 5 players that should be leaving the club. You can get in a time machine, come back into this year, and we're saying the exact same thing. It's the same players that we need to get rid of. They're either been here too long, they're too old, they're not fit enough. It's not working. And it's been under umpteen managers. Now, we can't blame the managers for that. It must be at the board level as well. Because the board need to put their foot down as well and say, listen, nah, it's time to get rid of him. What do you think, mate?
Aye, but so if you're looking at it, you've got ones that should definitely be away in it. Like this January should be Roof, right? Because he's not going to kick a ball fin out the end of the season. But if you let him go now, nobody's going to be interested because he's injured. You're going to pay him one lump sum fin out of summer to pay his contract off. Then you've not got that money until the summer anyway. So you're as well keeping Roof. But it's just my opinion. Whether he's going to play for us again or no, I don't know. Back when we were under David Murray, we went through a spell of paying off players constantly. Do you mind that season under McLeish? It was like Emerson, Austin, Stad, with a crowd of duds in basically, and you ended up paying them all off. And it cost us an arm and a leg. It cost us down to third division, essentially.
Aye, that's true, mate.
It's if you want to get down that route again. What I will say about the board is they're trying to keep it sustainable in a sense, so we're not in any debt. They're trying to keep us turning over some sort of profit. Well, it's small profit, it's profit all the same. We're living within our means. But us as a support, we're demanding that we win. So if we're to go and the only way to win this league for me is to sell Yilmaz and bring in a player like Shankland. But Shankland's probably only going to be a 6-month thing to win as a league, because there'll be a better striker that will come across when Nils Coppin settles into his role. You've got a guy Lawrence that's come in for Brighton. Is it Tom? What's his name? Is it Lawrence? Tom Taylor. You've got him in for Brighton. He'll have links. We'll have a proper scouting network in place. So it's a catch-22 really, whether we're asking the board to put the horns in the pocket for the sake of one league, because in the grand scheme of things, we could be winning the league for the next 3 or 4 years if we're patient. But we're not patient. We're Rangers.
I think what Bluebell said as well is because of all this fair play stuff and all that as well. It's all crazy. But which actually does my head in, considering the teams like Barcelona and all that are like hundreds of millions in debt and still being able to pay, yet teams within Scotland and probably obviously other smaller European clubs can't do the exact same thing as them. We're not allowed to because we're no Barcelona.
See, like I said down south, Man City have got 135 financial fair play charges against them. Everton, poor Everton, have had fucking 10 points deducted.
Is that actually happened?
Aye, Everton's already playing. They're still they're winning most weeks. They've got a 10-point deduction applied now. For one charge, and Man City's got 135.
It's
Crazy,
absolutely.
man. It's
Their
mental.
Bluebills is saying that Galatasaray 222 million in debt.
Well, that's what
That's
happens when you sign Mauro Icardi for stupid money, innit?
actually
They're a
just.
tiny club anyway.
Yeah, I've just got to say, Brian, thanks for coming in, mate. You have a good night and have a good sleep. You take care. Last thing I'm going to go on, mate, just that I was wanting to speak about is the one guy that we have brought in, Silva. I've been, I'd say, pretty impressed with him, especially last night's game. I thought his movement was really good. I thought he was really trying hard. I thought his touch was really, really good. His passing was,
Mm-hmm.
I thought, was probably the best in the park for us anyway. Is he a striker? He says he's not a out number 9. I don't think so. I'm thinking I was debating on whether it'd be a number 10, but I'm starting to sway that a wee bit, and it was something that I think that I'm just trying to think. So somebody said earlier on. Sorry, I can't remember who it was. I think it was Aldo. He said he agreed with me. I think he would make. Is he the right winger that we've been needing? I think he would be perfect in the right wing, mate.
He played on the left or Anderlecht in PSB last season. So to me, he's got what you're looking for a Rangers number 9 outside the box. We've yet to see if he's got what's needed in the box.
Would
That's
that
the
be a
problem
false
then.
9, mate?
Aye, I suppose. But your striker to me needs to be in the box and needs to finish a chance. And I don't know if he's got that finishing ability because I don't know much about him. I know what he's got is a winger, inside forward or inverted winger, whatever you want to call them, because that's his position, or it has been in the past couple of years. Looks a good player, definitely looks a good player. Good link up play and all that last night, but I'm yet to see. I'm holding back my judgment just now because I'm yet to see what he can do in the box. I want to see what his shooting's like. Basically, he did impress me last night, though. He did impress me.
I agree with David there. He needs to sign his feet a bit more. But we could say that with a few other players. But same with Dessers. Dessers fought, I think he falls in his arse far too many times.
Definitely.
I'm getting a wee bit worried, mate, on the lack of anything happening now. Should I be?
No, not just now. Not just now, because I think what Clement says last night, I believe the club is working hard. I think if there was an issue, Clement would just come out and say it if they weren't going to sign anybody or whatever. But I do think it's coming down to getting some money in for somebody first. I think it's coming down to selling Yilmaz, unfortunately. He's just starting to come into a game, but I think for us to buy anybody or loan anybody else, you've got Lammer's wages there between now to end of the season, but in the grand scheme of things, that's going to be about a couple of $100,000, 300-400K maybe between now to end of the season. That's not going to get us. That could get us another loan in, but it's a catch-22. It really is. It's a catch-20. You're weakening one position to strengthen another.
You just mentioned somebody's name there that I hadn't actually mentioned, believe it or not. How we've forgot? I've got absolutely no idea, mate. Sam Lammers. Right?
Aye, Sam Lammers. Right.
And apparently, oh God, I forgot, that's about it. What was the team?
Utrecht.
No, Utrecht. The Utrecht fans are absolutely gushing
I
over.
know, I watched the game on Sky Bet the other day. I sent David Tomlinson a message and he was like, "You'll get it online or whatever." And I was like, "Right, cool." And I sat and I watched it, and it was just as hopeless as it was for us. Like, he never really done anything, but their expectations, their definition of a good player compared to ours is two different things. They thought Lammers was the best thing since sliced bread because he was getting involved in playing passes. I think he had 3 or 4 shots. 3 of them were wide and 1 was in target. They played him as a number 9. No, what? Fair play to him. I hope he gets out there. I hope he smashes it, and I hope we get a good bit of our money back.
Aye, definitely. It's a Bluebills there. That
good luck to him.
That Manhoof, or however you spell it. How did he play, mate? What was your thoughts on him? Because I've seen a wee bit of him, and I thought he was all right. but I've not seen a lot of him, so I don't
They
really
played him
know.
at they played him at right wing back,
And
which
that's
was
not
a
his
bit.
position, is it?
No. He's a winger. He's a left winger. He plays ultimately on the left and cuts in on his right foot. But they played him at right wing back the other night. Played all right. He never done anything majorly wrong. Got forward. His defensive work, he wasn't really called upon that often because Utrecht kind of played through the middle a bit. They seemed to fire anything they could up the Lammers to hold it up. So he played all right, but it's difficult to judge when he's playing right wing back. Do you know what I mean? You're on mute, Corey.
Fucking
Amateur.
Fucking amateur, eh? Right at the arse end of it, eh? As if I could another 2 minutes, that would have been absolutely fucking fine. Sorry, everybody. It's an amateur broadcast. What do you expect? It's me. Like, as I was trying to say to everybody, I'm raging with myself. Fucking numpty. I think that's a bit it, mate. I think well, I've stretched this out as much as I can, really. Everybody that came in, thank you so much. Did you say they have just, if you can, please consider hitting the thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. You probably all have because I've noticed a lot of you guys in here, so you obviously know the channel well. I did notice this was quite weird on it was at some site regarding football channels and how big they are. And CJ Novo is sat at number 31 in YouTube. Now, according to their top 100 and how many subscribers I've got to now, I'm actually sitting at number 89. Which, considering I've only been up running a month, is pretty amazing. Now, that's not a true score because there was loads of channels that they missed out because I seen at least 3 or 4 Rangers channels that I watched that weren't listed. So obviously that's not really true. But I was well happy with that. So anybody watching, if you're not watching live, you're coming on, please consider subscribing. It would be appreciated. I'm sat at the now at 259. I need 500, I believe, to get to partnership. So I've still got a wee bit to go. And if you consider watching as much as you can or as much you can tolerate, you listen to my rubbish. I don't always have the same views on the pods, but I think right now, I think most people, most fans are actually thinking the same thing, mate. We need to hear more. We need to get things sorted out. We need to get a couple of signings in, and we definitely need a striker in, without doubt. That's the main thing. Obviously, we never even went into defence. We don't know what's happening with Davies either. Davies is another one that's went injury prone. We don't know what's happening with him. We never went over the usual. I would have extended this. We can bring this up at a later time, but we can see 2 goals that we've conceded over the last 4 seasons, probably the exact same in swingers near post. Nobody coming in. The first one, McCrory and Barisic and Big Leon got it wrong. The 3 of them got in each other's way, ended up with a goal. And the second one was Bona Barisic again and Timmy John Lee Ufeko. Timmy made a bit of balls up. I don't understand why we've not got somebody on the post. Bona Barisic in the air is absolutely useless. He's never been good in the air. I think he'd probably be better. He'd be the man standing on the line at the near post for me. I think that's the only use he could get. I like John Lee. I think he could be a good player. He's still got a wee bit to go. I don't think he's really get the know-how yet in that position.
I'd like to see him loaned to a Levy or something like that.
Aye, I'd like to see him getting loaned out as well and getting a bit of experience in that. He's a big bit of a boy. He's strong.
He's raw though. Very raw.
Really raw, mate. And I think we could, in a couple of years' time, maybe even within a year, he could be a possibility coming into that one of the positions, either at the left back or the left centre back. But I think that's us, mate. Thank you so much for popping in, mate. You made this pod a lot easier because I would have been struggling probably doing 20 minutes. And these poor people, have been hanging about for about an hour. As I said, please sub, share and all that, sell it on all the socials and all that, and let people know just to come in, listen to what I've got to say and what all the guests have got to say. So, Scotty, thank you so much.
No, you're welcome, Curry. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Hit the subscribe button for Curry Boy.
It's good to see you, mate. Everybody that came in tonight, thank you so much. I wouldn't be able to do this without you guys, because you do make it a lot easier. You ask questions, you put in your opinion, and as I've always said, I'm never going to agree with everybody, and everybody's not going to agree with me. We've all got our same thoughts in it. I'm not going to fall out with anybody. So hopefully, upwards and onwards, hopefully. So have a good night. Take care. Bye bye, everybody.